So we are in our third year of gradual but steady market shift. It started with interest rates going up and pretty much affected all parts of the United States. So almost 3 years later, market has changed in Asheville, North Carolina, as well as other parts of the United States. So in this video, I will talk about what it looks like to move to Asheville or the Asheville area during the market shift and what you need to know and look out for. So I would say there are generally two types of people who are moving to the area. The one kind are the people who are moving from parts of the United States or other states that were not super affected and hasn't seen a huge market shift, meaning market is still moving, properties are selling, people are still getting, pretty much top dollar for their houses. And those are, I would say, the luckiest, because when you move in from an area where properties are selling quickly to an area where properties are not selling quickly, you are the luckiest, because you can still probably sell high and buy, if not low, then lower. So you are in the luck. Raise your hand or put in the comments if you are that person. You live in the state or in the part of country where market is moving pretty fast, and you might even still see multiple offer situations and the prices continue to go up. Put it in the comments if you exist. And then the second type of people who are moving from a very similar market to Asheville, to the Asheville area, where everything slowed down significantly. And that can be a challenging situation for a lot of people, challenging situation to kind of overcome and think through and stay on track with your goal and what you want to accomplish. Basically, what I tell people who are moving from a similar market that is slow and shifted towards more of a balanced market, or in some areas buyer's market, I tell people that you cannot win on both sides. And so what that means is that when you're moving from maybe an area like Florida or some parts of Florida where it's also slow and you're trying to sell your property before you can buy something here, you're not gonna get top dollar there, right? So it doesn't sound or feels like you're winning. On the flip side, when you come here, keep in mind there's this opportunity to buy something at a discount. And so in a nutshell, what it means is that you cannot expect to sell your property for a top dollar in a similar market and also expect a discount here. It just doesn't work that way. You only win on one side. And so here on the ground, this is what it looks like. Again, interest rates start going up over 2 years ago, so we are now our third year of higher interest rates. And at first, everyone would just kind of put brakes on everything, right? Everyone was uncertain and been waiting for interest rates to drop. But I would say for the last year and a half, I haven't heard anybody really say that, oh, we're gonna wait for interest rates to drop. A lot of people just came to terms that they're not going down to 2s and 3s that we used to have, okay? Then one thing after another, it's kind of like a snowball or a perfect storm. People start saying, okay, well, we want to wait until after elections because we don't know. Uncertainty, right? Then elections happened, then we're going to wait until after holidays, then we're going to wait until the new president comes into office, then tariffs, then some wars in foreign countries start happening. So all this uncertainty in the economy, in the future, created this hesitancy from a lot of buyers and a lot of people who maybe thought about moving to the area. And then, of course, Helene happened here in Asheville, in the Asheville area. And that was just like a last nail on the coffin for us specifically. And since then, it's been over a year now that Helene happened. But it's just, it was such a huge event, such an unusual weather event that a lot of people are coming back and coming around, but there are still people who kind of hesitant. Meanwhile, inventory start going up. The supply start increasing and demand start going down. So again, perfect storm, supply and demand. More supply, less demand resulted in this market shift. And now we are basically in a balanced market for the most part overall. If you look at the greater area, in certain price points and in certain areas, because again, real estate is hyper-local, we are already in a buyer's market here in Asheville, North Carolina. And at first glance, or as soon as you hear this, you might think, great, more for me, or rather less for me. Less money out of my pocket for all these overpriced homes in Asheville, North Carolina. You know, we see a lot of price cuts, properties staying on the market for days, if not weeks, if not months. Properties been on the market for half a year to a year or more. But there's always a little but. It's not that simple. And let me break it down a little bit and give you a more realistic picture of what's going on here in the market with all these sellers that flooded the market in the recent year. And yes, in many cases, buyers these days can find insane deals, insane discounts. There's a ton of motivated sellers these days. For example, in the seller of this property that I'm gonna show you in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Very motivated to sell and move on with their life. And so, you know, those sellers sit on a lot of equity, or they have their mortgage completely paid off. So they have room for negotiations, and there's a ton of them. Sometimes I'm looking at some of the properties and honestly, I'm scratching my head why it still didn't sell. And sellers reduce the price multiple times. In some cases, it's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So good deals are out there. And as a good saying goes, buy low, sell high. So now is the time to actually buy. But of course, the best time to buy is when it's best for you and your family, right? Unfortunately though, not all sellers in the position to go as low as the market kind of demands these days. As I mentioned in my recent previous video, there's a ton of sellers who are back on the market after just owning a house for, in some cases, a year, some cases even a few months. They bought a property in the last year to 4 years, and as we know, about 4 years ago, it was the height of the market. It was when everything was flying off the shelf, multiple offers, people were bidding over asking, and in general, it was at the height of the market. And I always tell my clients that 1, 2, 3, 4 years even may not be enough to gain any kind of equity. So if you do not think you're gonna stay in the house for more than, I don't know, 5, 10 years is even better, you might wanna try to find a deal and not buy at the top of your budget or at the top of the market, because that's not gonna be enough time to gain equity. And if you have to sell so quickly after, you're gonna be losing money. And that's with the normal market, when the market was not shifting. But with the market shift that we've seen, and we're seeing still, even more so, they bought at the height of the market, now the market is going in the opposite direction. And so all these sellers who are divorcing, who are separating, who decided that, hey, we made a very quick decision and this is not the area for us. We had some clients who decided to relocate or move back to another area because of employment, just all kinds of different reasons. But in any case, those people don't have enough equity. They would be losing money. So there's only so low that they can go. The best way, I would say, for somebody who's thinking about lowballing is to look up and see when did they buy it, how much they paid for it, and before you're gonna lowball in hopes that you're gonna get a good deal, just kind of have a more realistic expectations, because again, not all sellers are in the position to even go as low as market needs them to. As a result, as a side note, a lot of these sellers now who could not sell decide to put their houses up for rent. And because of that, our rental market got softer. So our rental market went down as well. So again, this is actually a great time to either find a cheaper rental or find a good deal on the house. It just, gotta do your research and have somebody who's at your corner looking out after your best interests, and also not just painting everything, including the market, how it's all great, it's all great news, let's buy, this is the time to buy. Somebody who will kind of paint a realistic picture and not push you to make a decision one way or the other, but work with you and your needs and your family's plans and desires and goals and financial situation and all that kind of stuff. So, in conclusion, you as a buyer have a luxury of time right now. And this is pretty much the first time in years that buyers have luxury of time. We had clients who looked at same few properties 3 to 5 times. And guess what? Some of those properties are still on the market. So buyers nowadays have time and they are not feel pressured to pick and choose and make an offer and go on the contract and pay high deposits and all that kind of stuff. And so again, do some research before you lowball somebody. Take time to look into how much they paid for the house and when they bought it, and then make your decision. But you now have luxury of time and choice because there's a lot more inventory. So if you need any kind of help figuring out, first of all, if this is the right area for you, how it can all look like for you and your family to relocate, if you may be trying to sell something before you can buy here, what this transition can look like, reach out to me and my team. My contact information is down in the description, and I am freezing. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.